Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I'm Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Hi, guys.
So today's topic is we're going to discuss all the hate for Anthony Joshua. It's just getting absolutely ridiculous. They're not even hiding it. It's just so bad. We're going to start with it's mainly from Carl Froch and Simon Jordan, really, and other people, Lennox Lewis. But we're going to start with Carl Froch trying to dismantle AJ's legacy and say that his is much. But AJ's not humble, but I am. Carl Froch is trying to say that AJ's legacy is shit compared to his. So take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, so I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, and I'm going to compare the resumes if you're American, the CVs if you're over here, and yeah. So we'll start with AJ, and then I'll compare Fury and Wilder. Because that's the kind of main three, I guess, other than Usyk.
Yeah.
So AJ, 31 fights, 28 KOs, by the way, and and this is a decent resume. 3 losses, obviously 2 to Usyk, 1 knockout to Ruiz. So he fought Dillian Whyte in his 15th fight, right? And all this, I don't get this, like that he's chinny as well, right? He took a good shot up on the temple against Whyte. I do. You probably remember, Chris. I'm sure you guys out there remember.
Yeah.
Took it well, came back and finished him with an uppercut. And this was a young, hungry Dillian Whyte. First world title fight after that. I know Charles Might was no great shakes, but he's gone on to take Jared Anderson all the way. He's meant to be the next second coming in American heavyweight boxing. IBF world champion in his 16th fight. Then he fought Brazil in his 17th fight, who was, known as, top 15, top 20 heavyweight at the time. Eric Molina in his 18th fight. Then he unified in his 19th fight against Vladimir Klitschko, and a good aggressive attacking version of Klitschko. Dropped AJ, everyone I'm sure remember. Bang goes his theory about him being chinny again. Got up, managed to stop Klitschko. And then after that, he fought Takam, Parker, Povetkin, who he took another good shot off, and I think had his nose broke. So all this, he ain't got the heart, he ain't got no chin. Don't know where this comes from. Obviously lost badly in the first Ruiz fight. Come back, redeemed himself. Fought Pulev, fought Usyk twice. Fought everybody. Pretty much all on-comers. Other than Wilder, but we won't go there. We don't know what went on there. It's going on to Fury. He fought McDermott. It is
Froch. Oh, you're about Fury. Yeah,
Fury. So he fought McDermott in his 8th fight, struggled. A lot of people felt McDermott maybe won that fight. He fought Chisora in his 15th fight. Eventually, they finished that trilogy about 2,500 years later. Steve Cunningham in his 21st fight got dropped, didn't he, against Cunningham. He fought Klitschko in his 25th fight. Brilliant performance. Can't take anything away from Fury there. Then he had about 3 years inactivity, mental health, weight, all of that. That's for a whole other video. He then fought Seferi, Pianetta, Schwartz and Wallin in between the Wilder trilogy to kind of prepare for that trilogy. And I don't think the Wilder trilogy has aged as well as he would have liked. He then, after that, went on to fight, with all due respect, a washed-up Dillian Whyte and a washed-up Chisora in a trilogy. Now, that alone from Fury, I mean, before I maybe go on to Wilder, Chris, if you want to maybe come in there, it doesn't even compare to AJ's resume. Not even close.
No way.
Not even close.
And what a lot of people will say, obviously, Fury beat Klitschko first, yeah? But I just want to make this crystal clear.
Yeah.
Klitschko was not washed up or anything like that. Klitschko had a training camp preparing for the Fury rematch. So he was fit, he was fighting fit, and he was ready, and he always stays ready. It's not like he was retired or he'd been sitting on the sofa for 2 years. The guy went in training camp for a Fury rematch. Didn't happen. So what happens? He had a little break. Then he went into the AJ. Went in for the AJ fight. So he didn't climb off the sofa out of retirement. He was an active heavyweight still. Fury pulled out the rematch, so he fought AJ instead. So it's not like, and he'd only lost to Fury He lost to Fury in 10 years. That was his only loss, and he was looking to avenge it, and he was still very, very hungry. And he's shown in that fight, he had a lot. He still had a lot to give. And don't forget, this is what I hate about boxing.
Terrific performance from Klitschko, Chris. Brilliant.
Don't forget, he's only had 16 fights. He's not ready. AJ's not ready. He's not ready for Klitschko. He's not ready. He's gonna lose. He's too green. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. And then he wins. Oh yeah, Klitschko's too old. It's just a joke. Give the guy some credit for once.
Well said. And just let's remember as well, right? This was a still relatively raw age. As you say, got the IBF off Charles Martin, dismantled him, dispatched him, then fought Brazil and Molina before Klitschko, and then got heavily dropped by Klitschko in a massive fight and pulled himself up, got his second win and got the job done. It was people have short memories, mate. Like, they really do. That
was one of the fights of the year, that was a fight of the year.
Brilliant. I was jumping around the room. I remember I was at work, but I managed to stream it, and I was going mental. But anyway, we're going. I'll bring in Wilder's resume, and this is quite an interesting one. So, in Wilder's talk about padding someone's career, in Wilder's 15th fight, by the way, AJ had fought a very hungry, top up-and-coming heavyweight in Dillian Whyte. His 15th fight, he fought a guy called DeAndre Abram. Anyone got any clue who the fuck that was? I had no idea.
No.
Then, in his 19th fight, compared with AJ, who had just unified the division along with the IBF title he got from Charles Martin, he fought a guy called Daniel Cota. Anyone got any fucking clue who that was? No idea.
Who the fuck is that?
Then he fought Malik Scott, his now trainer, who, let's be honest, pretty much took a dive in that fight. That's what it looked like to me. Took one on the guard and then fell on the ground. That's just my opinion. That was his 31st fight, by the way. He then had his first world title shot in his 33rd fight. I'll just repeat that. 3-3. 33 against Bermain Stavern, who he didn't even knock out. It was a paper champ, but that's how he won the WBC belt. He then fought Duhaupas and Spilko. He didn't look great against until he sparked him out, to be fair, in his 35th and 36th fight. He then went on to fight a 72-year-old Luis Ortiz twice. And then when he stepped up to genuine top 10 heavyweights, Fury lost, Parker lost, Zhang sparked out, Goodnight Vienna. I mean, at the time we were comparing all these three heavyweights and who's the best. I mean, I'm sorry, but if anyone wants to come in the comments and try and even tell me that he is even comparable, it's an absolute joke that we're even having this conversation. Like that AJ's still got this to prove, and he's not this. He ain't got a chin. Well, that just proves all of that bullshit. And these are meant to be genuine analysts in the sport, Chris. It's a disgrace as far as I'm concerned. I've got a bit emotional about it, to be honest, but it's a joke.
Because it's so bad. Like, people, like, the short memories, and like he's done so much, and you can say, oh, I fought some people, but they were still competing, and they were still, like, even Povetkin, great fighter, knocked out Dillian Whyte,
broke his nose. AJ broke his nose in that fight.
Like, he's fought good fighters at the time. Yeah, they're not good now because they're a lot older, but at the time they were good fighters. And AJ was green coming through, and it's like, you've got to give him his respect. Just because someone loses, and he avenged that loss. And then the only other person he lost to was Usyk, and everyone's lost to Usyk.
Pound for pound, great. Pound for pound, great.
And it goes down as a Hall of Famer, 100%.
Yeah, and I think it's a wider conversation about, I mean, particularly Wilder. And I'm not trying to hate on Wilder here. And this isn't a personality contest. If people hate AJ and hate his politics or whatever, fair enough. But if you just put emotion to one side and look at the careers, right? Be objective. Exactly. That's the exact word. Don't be subjective. Be objective. Wilder has got one of the most padded heavyweight careers I think I've ever fucking seen. It was just unbelievable. I mean, he was borderline knocking out postman and milkman and binman, you know, in his first 25 fights.
Wilder's resume, for real, he's only fought, the only top contender he fought was Luis Ortiz. Let's be real. That's the only top contender. And he was about
an old man.
70. He's about 70 years old. And he got smacked around the ring and just detonated on him twice, same time, both times. And you can say that's my strategy. What, to get fucking smacked around the ring all night so you get around the right hand? I don't think that's a good strategy, to be honest. When he fought world champions, former world champions, he got sparked out and real top contenders. He got dealt with and got found out. And that's why he never fought anybody. And he thought that Fury had pillow fists so he could take Fury's punches and land the right hand. That's what he thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the only reason why he took the Fury fight.
I know the Zhang fight. Look, we're looking at an older Deontay Wilder. I know that's maybe a different conversation. But look at when he fought someone skillful like Zhang, right? Former Olympic bronze medalist, if memory serves me, but also could really punch, right? And as soon as Zhang landed on him, it was good night, wasn't it? You know, and he's just every time he's fought someone in and around an elite level, he was found massively wanting Deontay Wilder. And so, you know, AJ in the second fight with Usyk, you know, was a pretty close fight. It was a good, competitive, decent fight. You know, so
and obviously Usyk's just too good. So I want to go on to. So there you go, Carl Froch. I think, and the thing is, I'd like to say a few things about Carl Froch dishing his resume. So when Carl Froch, because he was slagging AJ and Dubois fighting for the IBF title when everyone knows Usyk's the man, blah, and all that. So when Carl Froch got beat by Andre Ward, he wasn't champ. Everybody, he didn't try and beat Andre Ward. Like AJ tried to beat Usyk again, even though he got outclassed. He didn't try. What did he do? He went and gone and fought for another title. He fought Lucian Bute for another title. When everybody knew at the time, at super middleweight, Andre Ward was the man. So does that mean, if you're saying that applies to AJ, Usyk's the champ, does that mean when you fought Lucian Bute, even though you had a title, everyone knows that you're not a champ? Andre Ward's the man. Everyone knows that. Because you didn't attempt to fight Andre Ward or rematch him at all. You lost to him and you kind of just like hid from him. And every interview when people ask you about it, he beat me, but he's boring. That's what you can say. Like and you talk about AJ, he's not humble. How are you humble? You know, how are you humble when you can't be gracious in defeat and say he beat you because he's better? You have to like bitch and say, oh, well, he's boring. He uses spoiling tactics. It's your job to stop that spoiling tactics. And then this is another thing I want to just show. Let me see if I can find it. No, not that one. Let me see if it's this one. So anyway, we're just going to go through a few posts of Carl Froch, saying that he doesn't pick on AJ. He just gives his opinion, So I've screenshotted. Check the dates. These are going on for about 3 years. He's just turned into a fucking troll, to be honest. Look at this. So AJ did not enjoy sparring Joe Joyce. Carl Froch and Dubois Joyce. That's not what I've heard. I've heard different stories. I've heard that I've heard some people saying Dubois dropped him in sparring. I've heard some people saying Dubois hated sparring AJ. That he used to pretend that he'd lost his gum shield so he couldn't spar with him, and he didn't enjoy the sparring. So the sparring rumours don't mean shit. But Froch was there apparently. Since the Ruiz loss, Joshua has not been the same. Okay, but he's rebuilding. Then
to a degree, there is some truth in that, but you know.
And this one here, AJ versus White, it's a 50-50 fight.
The rematch, the rematch.
the rematch. Yeah. That was not a 50-50 fight. Like, I don't like to do triangle theories, but Dylan White struggled with what was that guy? Franklin, Benjamin
Jermaine
Franklin, yeah,
Franklin.
Jermaine
Jermaine
Franklin.
Franklin, yeah.
AJ didn't look the best, but he won every round. He won every
Yeah,
round,
dominated.
but
Yeah.
he dominated, but it wasn't exciting. And he was just coming back off the Usyk loss, and he dominated. Dylan White was active, and he struggled. So how could you say that he just did that just to have a dig? That's it, really.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Carl Froch. AJ's not humble, and he thinks he's humble. I would have beaten Canelo at a super middleweight.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't
Backs
believe
himself.
that.
Backs
Yeah.
himself.
Well, he's got to
But
back
then-
yourself, but how could you beat you couldn't beat Andre Ward when you was active? So
And-
how can you say that you can beat Canelo when you're not active?
And I think you alluded to this, Chris, anyway, but AJ took the Usyk rematch straight away, if memory serves me, when he didn't have to, right?
Yeah.
So he's shown the nuts and the balls, excuse my French, to get back in there and go, do you know what? When he could have rebuilt a little bit, Carl Froch went and fought Brite instead of wanting the rematch. So let's have it right. We could all speak a good game, me and you, Chris. We could all say, but actions speak louder than words. They always do. And AJ's resume and actions, I keep saying resume, sorry. AJ's CV box rec speak volumes. It speaks for itself. It's as simple as that.
Well, and if he beats Dubois, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame, same as Carl Froch. So I think that's his gripe.
If and when he beats Dubois, another top 10 young heavyweight, then oh my God, CV looks even better.
Exactly. Look at this. Joshua will get KO'd in one round by Wilder. Or will he?
Yeah,
or will he?
That's not age well, is it? That's not age well.
Everything is just like, how can you say that? How can you be Bella and obviously Tony Bellew's and AJ's friend. Bellew to return.
Yeah.
Is AJ overrated? Obviously, Carl Froch saying that to wind Bellew up because he's his mate. Like, how can Carl Froch say? Yeah. And I think this is one more. Joshua's performance was terrible. Do not fight Deontay Wilder. But that he's referring to the Franklin fight. He won every round. Yeah. And it was a rebuild comeback fight. You can't so he can't get annoyed at AJ when he says he thinks you're a prick. Because as you can see, they're just some. I could have got loads more. Nearly every week you're posting something negative about AJ. Not one time in Carl Froch's titles has he said, great win for AJ, or AJ's rebuilding, looking good. No. I know maybe he's just turning into like an internet troll. Like, I just wants the views.
It's almost it's almost like AJ's like living rent. AJ's living rent free in Carl Froch's head, isn't he? Like, I don't know what's going on there. Like he can't stop thinking about him. Like he's obsessed.
This is the final one that really got my goat. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen this. So I think this is an interview with Poker Stars. Okay, if this isn't hate, then I don't know what is. So Carl Froch, let me just take the banner off. So Carl Froch, he's part of this poker club thing, and they said, who do you think would win out of Frank Bruno and Anthony Joshua if they fought? Because it get compared, best online poker on Poker Site's YouTube channel, when he was on there talking. The Frank Bruno that fought Lennox Lewis in Cardiff back in the 90s, that Frank Bruno beats Anthony Joshua. Froch told the best online poker Site's YouTube channel. I'm sorry, but he just does. It's just all about timing, and you can't hold that against Anthony Joshua. So the thing about that is, you can't say that without giving any analysis. What Frank Bruno was faster, had better footwork, had better head movement, had better defense. Why the fuck can Frank Bruno beat AJ? What? I don't believe it.
He cannot actually mean that. Like, as Carl Froch, are we missing something here? Has Carl Froch got back into sparring and taken one too many blows to the head? Like, am I missing something here?
Yeah,
what's he talking about?
He just doesn't like AJ because He's called him a prick, blah, blah, blah. And I think as well, because
that whole WhatsApp thing between them was all that
but I
shit.
think the reason why Carl Froch hates AJ is because of Rob McCracken. That's what it's about. Because AJ left Rob McCracken, and he didn't come out publicly and say, he just said, I can't learn anymore from Rob McCracken, and I need to learn, I need to get on my defense, practice my defense a bit more, and that's it really. And he kind of alluded to, but didn't outright say that he needs a new trainer, basically, and it's Rob McCracken's fault he lost to the first Usyk fight or whatever. And Carl Froch loves Rob McCracken, and he's his mate. And he couldn't deal with it. So and that's why he's hating on AJ. And obviously, where he keeps picking at AJ, doing these little digs, and AJ's just snapped and gone, "Yeah, I think he's a fucking prick. He's always saying shit about me." And then they've gone back and forth. And then Carl Froch has posted it publicly because he's got a YouTube channel, get some views.
I think ultimately, sometimes, and this is kind of, I guess, my final thoughts on it really, is that I just think sometimes as media, we do this in this country, we build our top sportsmen up to pedestal them, to bring them down. He's a good-looking guy, AJ, probably gets all the women. He's rich. He's been a two-time, probably going to be a three-time heavyweight champion. People, is human psychology. They get jealous, they get bitter, they get resentful. I'm fucking jealous. I wish I had his fucking life. But I ain't going to slag him off when it's objectively untrue. At the end of the day, his record speaks for itself. We can all have opinions on his personality, whether you like him or not. That's a different conversation.
Exactly.
He's got to be saying Frank Bruno will beat a prime AJ, or whatever. He was just talking rubbish.
And then here's good old Simon Jordan. Like he doesn't even know shit about boxing. So I don't know why. And with his long fucking procrastinating, illogical, whatever, all these long fucking words they try to use all the time. Well, check this out. A new era for AJ. Simon Jordan explains why he doesn't think Joshua will be world champion again. Okay.
When did he say that? Was that recent?
That weren't recent. That was 12:07. Oh, I haven't got the date on that, but I'm guessing maybe after he fought Franklin, probably. Then you've got
that hasn't aged well, was it? That hasn't aged well because he's about to win another one.
If Anthony Joshua loses to Usyk, when he's done as a credible fighter, is that right?
I'm sorry. Can I just come in here for a minute? Because this is meant to be.
How can you say that?
This is meant to be a credible, right? Well, I suppose he's not a journalist. He's a former kind of businessman, current businessman and owner. How can you say that losing to a pound for pound all-time great in Alexander Usyk means that you're done so that we could go back in history and say, okay, well, George Foreman losing to Muhammad Ali means he's finished. Right, if Lennox Lewis lost to Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall, well, he clearly wasn't finished. Come back, beat Vitaly Klitschko, all right, and not a prime Mike Tyson, come back, redeemed all those defeats. What planet is he on? Like, I'd understand if he'd lost to Tom Schwartz. Right, sorry, Tom Schwartz, no disrespect. Right. He's lost to Alexander Usyk, who's an unbelievable absolute pony.
You can't exactly. And look at this. Look, another one. AJ believed his own hype after he lost to Usyk. I don't think so. Well, I do. You've got to be confident in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe your own hype.
You've got to believe your own hype. You've got to believe your own hype. Of course you have. You can't go in the ring not believing your own. You've got to.
You can't say that they're not out to, that they don't have an agenda against AJ. Look at this. It's just absolutely pathetic. Simon Jordan explains why he doubts that Anthony Joshua is back to his best. Why? Like, you can't. How about? Well, let's see if he's back to his best and things are looking good. Why has it always got to be negative every time?
You would have thought, right? well, after speaking to Spencer Oliver, right, a former fighter who knows the game inside, you would have thought doing a podcast with him on Talksport Boxing every week would have meant that he'd start learning something, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Bloody no.
Look at this one.
Obviously
Joshua was forced to fight Ngannou. No.
What?
He was forced
to fight him.
This is the thing, yeah, what people don't know, yeah. But AJ was offered the Ngannou fight before Fury, yeah? And he said, I'm not fighting him because he's not a fucking boxer. I fight boxers. I want to win a world title. Not fighting him, yeah? Then he goes and puts Fury on his ass, has a good performance, yeah? He gets ranked in the WBC rankings. There's a bit of noise, yeah? And someone had to save boxing. Someone had to show that MMA fighters can't come to boxing like that. So AJ said, I'm fighting now.
AJ had to clean up Fury's mess.
His mess. Yeah, but before that, if he hadn't fought Fury, AJ wouldn't have fought him. So he wasn't forced to fight him. It made sense to fight him. That's why. Like, everything's just always hate.
Yeah.
Another member of the AJ fan club, Simon Jordan, accusing Tony Bellew of being an AJ fanboy. He's his friend, just like Simon Jordan, you're Ben Shalom's friend, and you always lick Ben Shalom's arse and he can't do no wrong, even though he's always pulling out a purse bids.
Yeah, we all have our favourites, though, don't we? We all have our favourites, and he's a good friend of his. Spencer Oliver's a good mate. Well, he's a big fan of AJ as well.
Yeah,
but I'm not. You know, I haven't sort of listed off all that because I'm an AJ fanboy. I'm just listing the facts. I've got no interest in. Yeah,
here's another one. I blame Hearn or Joshua. Carl Froch and Simon Jordan react to Anthony Joshua not fighting Wilder. Oh well, he didn't want to fight Wilder, but he still put himself in a good fight. And look what happened to Wilder. He got beat by Parker.
Oh, and I just want to add to that, by the way, right? And this is, you can look at multiple sources for this. Wilder backed out of the Klitschko. His management team pulled him out of the fight. He was meant to be fighting Klitschko. He didn't want any of that smoke whatsoever. AJ done it in his 19th fight and unified. Like, that's another. There you go. There's the evidence. Don't give me all this people out there saying AJ ducked Wilder. That was never the case. It was never the case. I don't think. From what
absolutely
I've read
ridiculous. Look, Simon Jordan again. Joshua versus Hrgovic next is a disgrace. You know, well, it's fighting Dubois. Yeah. It's fighting Dubois now. Is that a disgrace? It's just like, can't you just give AJ some positivity, like, for once in your life?
Give him his props, man. Give him his props.
Yeah, like, so there you have it. There's our receipts for AJ's resume and all this hate from Carl Froch, Simon Jordan, anyone else. Like, you know, it's all bullshit. Like, they are just hating and trolling AJ for some reason.
Yeah.
I think it's jealousy because, like you say, he's popular and maybe they don't like his humble persona because they know him and he's a bit moody sometimes. But I think they're making him worse. I think he was trying to be a role model in the public side, and where all this abuse on the internet and all this digging at him, it's like, you know what? Fuck you all. I hate you all, and I'm going to be a prick to you all, and I'm going to be that guy that I don't want to speak to you. I'm going to start biting back. You know?
Yeah. It's just absurd.
Because it is just hate. It is just hate. It's not like objective. It's just always AJ's not going to make it. AJ's not going to do this. AJ can't do that. This is AJ's fault. Like, wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I like the receipts that we pulled up.
Like and sub, guys. Like and sub.
And if you've got any insights, you think we're wrong, you don't think it's hateful, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. All right, thanks, guys.
Comments. Cheers.
Like and sub.